Hey, what's up guys? It's Mako, and this is going to be my second SMITE commentary, another full game commentary. If you want me to condense it down and do, let's say, 12 to 20 minutes instead of just doing a full-blown match commentary, I can do that too. But now that I've gotten some better gameplay, I'm going to go into more detail about the build I used, and I'm going to talk about Son Wukong, which is one of my favorite champions. Zechi also plays him too. Hopefully Zechi will be able to release some SMITE commentary, and we may be doing some dual comms in the future because I'm going to be getting a Samsung Go mic, and I've said this before in a couple of other videos. I'm actually using a voice recorder to record these commentaries instead of my computer mic, because my computer mic for some reason doesn't want to work. I'm not sure if I lost the driver in a crash or something. Skype doesn't work either, so for all those of you who tried to contact me through Skype, I'm sorry it's not working right now. I'm going to try and get it up over the weekend, but until then, just hit me up with a YouTube PM or email. The email is in the channel description, if you're wondering. So if you have anything to send me, you can shoot it through the email. Anyway, for this gameplay, I actually did a lot better than last time with Raw. After that particular gameplay, I decided to go ahead and try out the different gods because I wasn't doing really well with the two gods that I was playing, which were Ra and Wukong. I did really badly with them for a while, and when I tend to do badly with a certain god or champion or whatever in any MOBA I play, I always try and alternate and try out a different guy just to see if for some reason I'm playing it wrong with a certain god. If I play a god too much or a champion too much, sometimes I just start sucking with him. So decided to try out Son Wukong, and this is actually my second game with him. And I managed to get 12 kills, although in the beginning I did kind of badly. I managed to get 12 kills and 4 deaths. So while it's not as great as some other Son Wukongs I've seen in the past, it is pretty good for a second game, and I decided to do this particular match for the next commentary because this is just a great match in terms of the teamwork and everything. I did manage to get the highest amount of kills by the end of the game, but this guy who's playing Ymir right now basically carried the game, and this is just a perfect example of a perfect game in SMITE, and really illustrates what I was trying to talk about during the last commentary, which is that smart plays are really what is going to decide the outcome of your game. You can have a good build as opposed to League of Legends, where if you have a insane build, for example, in my Raw commentary I was using Gangplank as an example. If you have, let's say, a ridiculous build, I can literally one-shot a champion who's a couple of levels behind. But in this game, the items are not that OP, so you do need to be smart even at the max level. I mean, obviously if you're a level 18 and someone's a level 12, you're gonna totally destroy them, but builds aren't everything. This game really puts an emphasis on being smart, being aware of your map, being aware of your health, the enemy's health, and it's not all about builds and it's not all about getting kills. But I covered most of that in my previous video, so I'm not going to make a half an hour long commentary just talking about all that stuff, since I already did that. But as you can see here, not doing so well. I try to assist my Ymir, and he ends up getting the kill on Kali, but I don't make it out of there alive, and that happens about 3 more times. In fact, I'm surprised I did as well as I did. I probably would have gotten maybe even 16-20 kills with Wukong had I not died in the beginning. But it's all good because Ymir was basically carrying for a good part of the game, and it wasn't until the end when I maxed out a lot of my crit items and stuff that I started getting a bunch of kills and sort of turning the tide of battle. Here I'm just sort of helping Ymir support, chip down the enemy damage, or sorry, the enemy health, and just sort of make it easier for Ymir to get his kills and farm the lanes. And I'm actually getting a decent amount of gold here, because it's pretty easy to take out a bunch of these little enemy minions as Wukong. I really love his auto attack. It feels like this is the one god where it really feels like an action-based game, and not just a shooter, but something like, you know, something like a combo-based action game. And even Guild Wars 2 doesn't really feel as action-y as SMITE. As much as I love Guild Wars 2, I just have to say that, you know, SMITE takes the cake in terms of action combat. And they can, because there's not as many people. And I got out of that pretty luckily. And here you can see a pretty awesome combo I pulled off. And I almost got that kill on Kali. I was really trying to focus Kali and get my revenge for her taking me down earlier. But, you know, Ymir was able to take him out, and that's actually a really good combo. Ymir's Frost thing. I always get the names wrong on these abilities, or I can never remember the names of these abilities. But I remember Wukong's now. It's Year of the Monkey. And Year of the Monkey, I just sort of saved it until that other guy popped his ult, then took him out, and Ymir took care of the rest. Really good combo. And I just like figuring out all the different combos that the different gods can do. The Raw Hades combo is another really good one, where you've got your Searing Pain, and then your laning buddy Hades will go ahead and do his Pillar of Agony and pull all the enemies there, and then you finish him off with Searing Wave. But yeah, just figuring out all these combos with all the different gods is just one of the reasons I really love SMITE. It's just so much more fun than doing combos in League of Legends and Dota 2, as much as I love Dota 2. And they just added Gyrocopter, so I might check it out again. But really enjoying SMITE. As far as what I'm building now that I've sort of upgraded it and stuff and talked about that, getting the intro out of the way, I started the game off, as you can see, with Warrior Tabi and the Heartseeker. The Heartseeker is just sort of to help me farm minions and just sort of assist Ymir here in getting his kills and just sort of make my basic attacks really good right from the get-go. Again, I'm kind of a noob, so if you have a better Wukong build that's just really good, my third and final noob death. I have one more by the end of the game, but anyway, if you have another build that you use, I tried a lifesteal build once. This is sort of more of a general physical damage / critical build. And see what I added there. It was a Devourer's Gloves, which is another great item. I know I said I didn't build lifesteal, but that was one good item that I sort of added to Wukong. I did add a little bit of lifesteal, but I was really focusing more on the critical. And in future builds, I'm probably going to either go for either, you know, all physical damage or all lifesteal, depending on, you know, who I'm up against and all that stuff. I didn't really build many defensive items. And I'm not sure if using the tank boots with Wukong is really a good idea. Again, I like building a lot of critical with Wukong, so, you know, unless he really needs sustain, I probably wouldn't build tank boots, and I haven't really seen any builds that use tank boots. But I have seen tank boots being used on other gods, for example, Ra. So if any of you use tank boots on Wukong and have a build that utilizes this really well, please let me know in the comments section, and I'll try and include it in future videos. And Year of the Monkey is just probably one of my favorite ultimates of all time. And I'm probably not going to be playing Ra for a while, because Wukong and Agni and a lot of other gods are actually much better than Ra. Even though his core abilities are really good, he just doesn't scale as well as some of these other characters. And oh, that's my third death. I said it was my third death before. Was not keeping track. Sorry about that. So anyway, back to sort of the god tiers and everything. Someone actually posted on the forum sort of the god tiers, and I kind of don't agree with them. They are basic for most of the gods, and they do work in some cases, but, you know, for instance, they put Agni on the very bottom tier, which I would not agree with at all, and Zeus in the number 2 tier. I think Zeus, personally, I think Zeus, if you were to separate all the different gods into a 3-tier system, that Zeus would definitely be on bottom tier. He's not a bad god, but personally, he just isn't as effective as some other gods, except in team fights, which Wukong and Odin and a lot of other gods have covered. Even Ra, I think, is better. And I know I'm really talking trash about Ra. Some people are probably a little surprised, since I was basically praising Ra during the last video I made. And I don't have anything against Ra, it's just that I think he really needs a buff. And once he does get a buff, just a little bit better scaling with the magic items. But once he does get just a minor buff, I think he's going to be a really good character. Agni used to be not as great as he is now, and all he needed was one little buff, which was the ability to go ahead and sort of chain his noxious fumes with his other abilities. A lot of people had issues chaining those together and triggering the stuns, and that's sort of a big part of you know, playing Agni, being able to disable the enemy team for a couple of seconds, and, you know, have one of your bigger, badder guys go in and finish him off, or attack him with the meteor, or whatever it is. Again, I'm totally failing remembering all these different names for the skills and stuff. But, you know, at this point, we've totally outfarmed these guys, and one of the ways that we just sort of completely destroyed them in the beginning of the game was we farmed, or actually, sorry, jungled. We jungled, well, we farmed too, but we jungled really early. That was Ymir's idea, not mine. And, you know, I helped him out in the beginning. And by the way, if you're going to be playing this game, and if you're a former LoL player, you know, that is a really big help. Especially if you're a tank and the other guy is a carry or an assassin type or something, and he's being a jungler, you know, please pull and help him. This is one of those basic sort of gamer etiquette things I learned in LoL. It helps everyone in the match. And, you know, if your tank's jungling, it's going to help you remain alive, even if you're the carry. And if your carry's jungling, obviously you need your carry to win the game. So, you know, it works well in SMITE too. So just be sure to pull, or leashing, leashing is what it's called in League of Legends. It's called pulling in Dota. But whatever you call it, you know, if you attack the enemy mobs before the jungler does, and just sort of divert a little bit of damage from them, it helps a lot, and it helps your team a lot too. So, you know, please do that if you can. And you can definitely see how that sort of helped our team, because I fed, if the enemy Kali had gotten fed early on in the game, it would have been really bad, because Kali is one of the scariest gods in the entire game. Without a doubt, she's definitely tier 1. And that's another god that one tier list didn't get right. They said she was tier 2, and she's not. She is absolutely tier 1 if she's fed, because she can completely dismantle an entire team in a couple seconds with her ultimate. So what we got now is we've added a Leviathan, and that's the only defense item I added. It's a pretty good item if you just want one basic defense item, because it covers both the magic and physical damage. It doesn't give you any extra bonuses besides health and all that stuff. So it's not like the Breastplate of Valor, which will give you reduced cooldowns and all that stuff, but it's a really good item nonetheless if you've got other items that will cover that stuff for you. And if you just need one good item so you can focus all your other items on crits and all that other good stuff, And by now, Melixer, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who is our Ymir, is really fed, and this is the point where we just start snowballing the entire match. I mean, those other guys killed me a couple times. I was sort of concerned about that in the beginning, but by now, you know, there was no hope for the enemy team. We were completely and utterly dismantling them, and another combo, the Year of the Monkey and Ymir's Frost thingy. And I got a little cooldown reduction thing, which ends up helping me a little bit. And Wukong is probably my favorite. I just have to say, probably my favorite team fight focused character of all time. I have not played Arachne yet. I did play Hebo once, and that did not go very well. So I know there are actually a couple of characters who are better. Wukong is definitely one of the best team fight centered characters in the entire game, even though his Year of the Monkey can be anti-CC'd with the purity beads, or the clarity beads, or whatever you call them. I just call them, I know they're not called clarity beads, but I call them that because I'm used to all the League of Legends stuff. And I probably should have built the Devourer's gloves a little bit more, but I just wanted to make sure that my Leviathan was maxed, since, you know, by now I'm starting to get a bit more kills, and because of that, people are going to try and focus me. Wukong is kind of squishy, as I said in my previous video. You know, if you get out of a CC, and he's going to be one of the gods you're going to want to kill first, because, you know, if you combo with his ultimate, or, you know, if he jumps you, if you're fleeing, you know, you're pretty much screwed. So just a tip, if you're playing against Wukong, you know, make sure that either he or the healer, whichever one is being more trouble on the enemy team, goes first. Because it's kind of like that one Penny Arcade comic. If you read Penny Arcade and are a longtime fan of it, you may remember this one strip which had Tycho pointing out a heavy medic combo from Team Fortress 2 and basically making a big deal about taking out the medic first. If you're a Penny Arcade fan, you'll remember which one I'm talking about. Definitely the same principles apply here. You definitely want to take out the healer first, because they're the ones who are going to keep the push happening on the lanes. And in Hell's case, she is absolutely 100% broken. Not only can she keep the enemy team healed, but she can get mega kill streaks if she's being controlled by a good player. So you definitely want to focus Hell if she is on the opponent's team and doing a really good job, because until they patch her and nerf her, she's going to continue to be a big problem, and who knows, she may continue to be a broken top tier character even after the game's released. She's certainly going to remain a really top tier character unless they do like huge crippling nerfs and make her completely unusable anymore. But enough of that. Let's sort of focus on what we're doing right now. So right now we're just sort of cleaning up the lanes here and focusing on any stray towers or stray enemies that need to be taken down. And just got a really good pushing effort with this entire team. I'm really happy with the way this match turned out. And hopefully we'll have plenty of matches like it in the future, where people are just focusing on making sure that those towers are taken down as quickly as possible, and just disorienting the enemy team, and just making a good effort to just take out the enemy team. Because, you know, I see so many teams where, or so many games I meant, where, you know, everybody's just trying to Rambo the enemy team. They're not really focusing on combos, they're not focusing on getting kills, and, you know, they're just trying to act like this is League of Legends. This is not League of Legends at all. This is a totally different game. And I know there are some people who probably think that this game is just a massive League of Legends ripoff in third person, but mechanics and everything are totally different. You know, just don't focus only on kills or you're going to be the one who's losing, because, you know, if you don't push those towers quickly, someone else is gonna, and, you know, getting a ton of kills is not necessarily the thing that's going to win you the game. There's this one great forum post. I forgot the guy who posted it, but he had like his end game scoreboard that he had capped, and even though his team had been completely wrecked in terms of kills, the enemy team had gotten massive kill streaks. They ended up losing because they were not pushing. And leads me to my 5th purchase right here, which is the Titan's Bane. A great item for physical penetration, and the physical penetration combined with all the crit stuff that I've stacked and simple lifesteal and the little bit of tankiness I added with the Leviathan definitely made this a winning build for this match. I really want to experiment with some other builds with Wukong, but probably going to be using this build. I just threw this build together randomly, and this is probably my favorite moment in the entire game. Of all these guys attacking our tower, and I do surprise New Year's party and just completely and utterly wreck them. And even though Zeus took all the kills, that was just absolutely amazing. And I kind of wish Zeus wasn't there, because guys would have died anyway, and I would have been able to pick up some more kills. But, you know, as is, everyone did a great job on this team, and, you know, it's probably best that everyone on the team has a good amount of kills and deaths, because everyone was able to push. There were no stragglers. Artemis was kind of underleveled, but, you know, she helped, and everyone did a great job, so, you know, you really can't complain. I said before, great match. And if you're watching this and, you know, you're a former your former League of Legends player and you want to play Smite, just please remember to push with the entire team and not go off and do your own thing, because even if you're a high level, you can't Rambo. You got to push with the entire team. This is a huge team-based effort, and, you know, the builds, I covered this before, builds are not as powerful. As far as, I haven't really done any like stat crunching or anything. There are, as far as I know, no Smite build calculators, and there really shouldn't be, because, you know, it is a beta, which is why I try not to get too mad if I do really badly. It is just a beta, and, you know, stuff's going to get changed. OP characters are going to be, they're going to be nerfed. And by the time the game releases, it's probably going to be fairly different. Although they are charging for the game, so it's probably going to be fairly similar to what's here, but, you know, nerfs and buffs, a little bit extra balancing, all that stuff. Well, unless someone's being a complete and total idiot. And I don't know if this one guy was dumb or not. I'm going to assume that he wasn't. He didn't seem like he was dumb. He was doing something that was kind of dumb, but it was in the beginning of the game. The guy was trying to, I'm not going to name any names, because I'm not trying to troll this guy or anything. This one guy tried jungling with Agni, and that did not work out at all. The guy said he posted it on YouTube and stuff, and, you know, if the guy was able to do it, you know, grats to him, and it's my 4th and final death. You know, grats to him. Good for you if you are able to do it, but if you're not, please don't go in the game and ruin the game for everyone else. But, you know, that being said, you know, I try not to rage in the beta. I've maybe done that once. I think there was one game where I just completely, like, it was just a bad day for me. But generally speaking, I'm pretty chill with this stuff. You know, it's just games. And, you know, I can't tolerate stupidity, but I can tolerate people who are new. You know, everyone is a new player at some point, and being a jerk doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help you, it doesn't help the people who are trying to learn the game, And in the end, you make life miserable for everyone if you harass noobs. So just please, just another tip for you League of Legends players who are maybe planning on joining this game, please don't be jerks. And I'm past the point where I'm like a new player. I'm level 12, so the levels cap at level 30, and I've been playing this game a lot, so I'll probably I'm hoping to reach max level by the time the game releases, so that way when I do need to buy all the runes and stuff, I'll already be max level, or at least at a good enough level where I don't have to spend a ton of money on runes that I'm not going to need. They do have a tiered rune system, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like the idea of the runes, but I don't like the idea of having to, having all your tier 2 runes, for instance, once you bought them, become garbage as soon as you are tier 3. But here's another great example of just our team being totally awesome. We get jumped, and normally when this happens in most MOBAs, when the enemy team sneaks up right behind you and tries to steal the Baron or Fire Giant, which is our guy there, or sorry, I said Baron, Roshan is Dota's. The best case scenario usually is you got about 2 of your guys who die, and that's happened to me a lot. In this game, wards are not really that good. Nobody uses money for wards, and because you can sort of spot the enemy team's little icons there, as long as you keep tabs and call MIAs, which a lot of people do in this game, and I'm really glad. I love the VGS system in this game. It's probably one of the best additions Hi-Rez has made to the MOBA genre, because now everybody calls MIAs. But the fact that people call MIAs mean that you don't really need wards as much, and when people do buy wards, there are these tiny little things. You really need like 4 or 5 of them to cover a decent amount of the area. So hopefully that'll be updated in the future, but I really wouldn't mind if they just took wards out of the game, because, as long as you keep tabs on, who's in what lane and, when they leave, you can predict when the enemies are going to go after you. And by now, I'm getting a ton of kills. And I was kind of pissed in the beginning that Ymir had taken all my kills, but it turned out to be really good, because then he led and I was able to just gain experience in the back, gain a kill once or twice and farm. And then now that, oh man, my computer, I'm not sure if you can hear, but my computer is just going in the background. If you've ever heard that noise, that's my PC. When I get a new mic, I'll go ahead and be able to cancel the noise on that, but or whatever. By this time, I'm just completely and utterly decimating, and we take down the Minotaur, and it's a good game. So I hope you liked this full match commentary. I hope it was fun to watch, and hopefully a little educational as well, teaching you all the different items and how to play Wukong and all that stuff. And once again, if you are a pro SMITE player, or have experience with League of Legends and now play SMITE and do a lot better with Sun Wukong, please feel free to give me any tips in the comments section. And if there's anything wrong with the video, or if you think the video is too long, or that I should be elaborating on, additional stuff about the game, just let me know what you'd like to see in the future in the comments section, and I'll try and do it. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and sub. And if you're wondering where the intro went, well, we're going to be getting a new intro soon. And we got a new channel background as well, so please check that out if you haven't already. Thanks to the Sticky Productions for making that possible. So, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching again. Please rate, comment, sub if you haven't already, and peace.